Maxi pad, Max Verstappen. Okay. So this will be an interesting one as well. Do you think Max deserves to be an employee of the month this season, or is he a company man?
Again, I think he's got to go employee of the month.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't believe he's come straight up, because he's the only one I really want to put in there. The only to tell you the truth, the only I really want to, whether that'll happen or not. I think it shows the proof's in the pudding. The way he's just shut and just poo-pooed all over his teammates this year.
Well, not even that. Like, he's put it to the McLaren still. Like, clearly it's the better car, but he keeps putting it on pole. He has this knack of
at the driver tracks. Yeah, he excels.
Yeah, he has a knack of snagging it from them, and then you just leaving everyone going, like, how has he put that tractor there? That just makes no sense. And even had us questioning to a point of like, a Red Bull sandbagging? Like, what's actually going on here?
I mean, he's got 3 race wins this year, or is it 2? I mean, he won in Japan and he won in Imola, for sure.
So, yeah, he won in Japan, he won in Imola, and just the 2.
Yeah, so 2 wins.
Yeah.
It's a very lackluster season for him, but he pulled them wins out. I mean, the pole in Suzuka won him that race, and then the move on Oscar won him that race in Imola. Like, 2 things that the driver has to do.
That was a confident move. That was I've got nothing to lose, you do. I'm sticking the car here. Yeah. Nothing you can do.
Yeah. And then obviously he's got the biggest delta to his teammate.
Yeah.
Positionally.
I've said it a few times this season, and I still stick by it. I still think that he's the best driver on the grid. And it's not really that far-fetched, right? But there's something about his racing craft. Like, now that he's matured, he just looks like just such a threat. You could just never write him off. Like, he's always going to be in the conversation. Even when the car is the worst it's ever been, he's still going to be in the conversation. And, you know, this is why I don't bet on F1, because the one time that you place a bet on, like, Piastri or Norris to win, Verstappen will come through for a win.
Yeah. And this is the problem. They'd, like, Oscar would be paying $1.10. Norris would be paying $1.12. Yeah. Max would be paying $3.50, and there's no way you're putting money on him. Yeah. And then he'll come through and win it. Yeah.
So, yeah, he's very impressive. I think he's in some ways he's almost in a league of his own. Like, there is, like, I mean, you look at the guys we have an employee of the month at the moment. In a 1v1 situation in the same machinery, he's destroying George.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the fight between him and Piastri, because I think that probably is, in terms of racecraft, his most closest. I mean, we saw how he did battle with Norris last year, and how Norris just crumbled. It always just ended in tears. Yeah.
And we've seen Oscar do some, and to Hamilton as well, another legend of the sport. His racecraft, when he's racing them, we've seen it, and it's
it feels like, I reckon the cream of the crop, the 3 best. If you're in equal machinery, it could be anyone's game. Max is maybe just edging him out. Is Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri for me. I think those are the 3 guys.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Ferrari's the worst car out of them all, and the worst team.
Well, I think this year, and this is why this is a good time to do it, because I think this is just how it's turned out. Like, George has just put on such a performance, you can't ignore it.
I mean, just think, like, if Ferrari had, a little bit more stability and reliability, whatever it is, Charles has had 27 career poles. That's a lot. Like, that is impressive.
Yeah.
And imagine if he was able to convert more of those to wins. Like, 1 or 2 more last year, Ferrari win the constructors.
Yeah.
And then what does that mean for this year? What does that mean next year when the regs change? He's been a little bit unlucky in that team, but that's the Ferrari experience. You have to accept that.
Yeah.
Whether they can help him out a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah. And what we saw, and I think this is where he needs to be a bit more, or like mature a little bit more as a racing driver. 3 years ago, the start of the new regulations in 22, he had coming to round 3, he had a 50-point lead over Max in the championship.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, Red Bull turned it on, but I remember him having some big mistakes throughout that year. When you get a 50-point lead, doesn't matter what your car turns into. That's huge.
Yeah.
Like, that could be insurmountable if you just steady on throughout the year.
Oh, yeah.
But we saw him crash it away, and within 3 rounds, I think he lost the lead. So he needs to do some more maturing as a driver, but I think it comes from being in those big moments more often. But nonetheless, I think he's got some talent, clearly. and he could be a title contender one day.
Tell you what, next year's going to be good.
Who else you got? Car 4.
All right. Where do you have him?
So I haven't. When I thought we were doing 4 in each, I actually had him in Employee of the Month because it's hard to ignore.
Yep.
You can talk me out of it for sure. Try.
Look, he's probably, out of all the drivers on the grid, he's probably actually the hardest one to rank. Like, honestly, he probably is. Because he's the only one where I feel he's only where he is because of the car. It's probably 60% car, 40% driver in his situation.
I think it's 60% car, 20% driver, 20% luck.
Well, yeah, I mean that could be a better way of putting it again. He is definitely fast. I don't think you can't deny that. Yeah, he can drive the car. He's fast. He's put it on pole. Whenever we have qualifying sessions, you know it's between Oscar and Lando. And I'm definitely not comfortable that Piastri is going to pip Lando every time. I almost expect Lando to beat Piastri most times.
Yeah.
And I think in the qualifying battle, Oscar might have him by 1, maybe. They might even be equal now. But either way, the dude is fast. So you can't discount that. Some of his wins have been earned, and I'll give him that. Whether it was by qualifying well, not bottling up turn 1 and holding his lead because there was nowhere else to pass. That's how a lot of races go, but he's done it.
Yeah.
The other half have been very driven by luck.
Yeah,
for sure. So that's why it's very complicated for him. I
agree.
I almost think that he's in between Employee of the Month and Company Man. He's like in between there. I don't think that we only have Charles as a Company Man because he's probably disadvantaged by car more than anything.
Yeah.
But if you swap those drivers, I think there's no question that Charles is Employee of the Month and Lando is Company Man.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Straight away, you got Australia. They both make the same mistake. The way luck has it, Lando continues. Oscar spins off the track. We saw in Austria, they're battling. Oscar's clearly quicker. The team alters the strategy. Lando gets that win, even with Oscar coming right back quicker. Obviously, Silverstone, we had the FIA give Oscar a penalty.
10-second penalty for that. Yeah.
Which gifted Lando the win. We had what happened last week with the giving him the pit strategy, the better pit strategy. And then I think one of the biggest outliers is also Spa. He loses the lead due to a lack of sack through Eau Rouge.
Well, it was partially that. I mean, again, we only know what we get told. So there was a whole battery thing where allegedly he was using his battery behind the safety car. So
he's the driver in control of his battery.
Yeah. So you look at that and you think, how can you make that mistake? Like what are you doing? That's your only chance of defense, and you just.
But there's no way they were using their battery through Eau Rouge, I'd assume.
No.
So Oscar had already gotten to his tail.
Oh, he fully sacked up.
Oh, just after Eau Rouge. So I don't think the battery would have made the difference.
No, it wouldn't have. No. I think when we did that round review, we did speak about how Oscar was like, he looked like from day dot, I'm not losing this race. Yeah. Nothing. And literally, as soon as that safety car peeled away, you could see he was locked in and he was just glued to the back of Lando's tail. And he was, I'm making the move on that front straight, after Eau Rouge, and then I'm running away.
Yeah.
And he did. So whenever we do get those direct comparisons of an actual straight fight, Oscar always comes out on top. It's only when it's not a straight fight.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I was going to say before you said that, because you tipped it off perfectly, but when can you tell me Lando made one of those moves on Oscar? The only time, and it doesn't count, is Canada when he bomb dived him at the hairpin, and it was more about Oscar seeing him, getting him out of the way, and then getting a better run.
Yeah.
And then Lando ended up crashing into him.
Yeah.
There has not been one time where Lando has made the pass on Oscar. And we've seen Oscar struggle to make the pass on Lando because the cars are so cool. We saw it last week. He couldn't get the move done.
Yeah.
We saw it in Austria. Can't get the move done. So we've seen that Oscar has struggled to get the move done, but he's never failed in an attempt. We've seen twice he's lunged and locked up. The exact same lunge that Lando put on Oscar, but Oscar allowed him to go up there and do the switchback. Lando just shuts the door in those moments.
That's the thing, right? Because if Oscar does just shut the door,
it's
like he's entitled to do, it is a
Lando
crash.
locks up his whole front, everything, trying to avoid. But no, Lando didn't lock up. He just bomb dived him.
The first time that Piastri locked up in Austria and almost cleaned Norris, we both said we don't like to see that because that's
a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
It's not what he's.
But then he did it again out of pure desperation here at Hungary.
Yeah.
And I was watching it back, and I don't look. It could be a little bit of shit talking. I don't know, but to me, I look at that and I'm like, okay, twice he's done that, and twice he hasn't made contact. You get a sense that he knows exactly what the limits are. Yeah. So even if he's positioning the car there and he's trying to unsettle Lando, and Lando shuts the door, you know, he knows the spacing and the braking and everything enough that he's not going to put it in the back. Yeah. And we didn't have all the same hoopla from McLaren that we did from Austria. There was none of there was the one radio message, and they worded it differently. It was same reminder. Yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah. That was a
wrap around the knuckles, or it wasn't in the media. We know how we go. You know, there was no talk of that, and I thought that was very interesting. And I was like, my perception of it was he in control even when it seemed like he was out in control? You know,
I think so.
That's a whole different talking point, but yeah.
And I think that's a part of racecraft, is seeing if you can break him mentally, or if Oscar sees Lando turn in wide, he's releasing that brake and he's not locking his tyre, and he's going down the inside the way Lando did at Canada. Yeah. The fact that he sees Lando swoosh across, like you said, he knows exactly what his limit is to not hit Lando as a last ditch effort to not hit him. Yeah. But he's putting the car
even if
there,
he's locking up,
making sure Lando can see him in his mirror and allowing Lando to make the decision. Yeah. And Lando just shuts the door, and that's
because you look at it. How does it happen twice and he gets away with it?
And it's like fractional. It looks very close.
Oh yeah.
And it cooks his tire, but it's a racecraft move. It's I'm going to go in your mirror, and you can. And if it's not Lando and a championship battle, if it's George, he probably lets him through and then gets on the radio and complains about it.
Yeah. So the question is, final answer, where does he go?
I'm happy for him to be in company man. I think he might have one or two more race wins than Oscar now this year, but I think you can put most of them down to luck.
We're going to find out, right? We've got 10 races to find out who's really made of what. Piastri's got a narrow lead. Is he going to be able to hold it? Is he going to be able to pull away? Or is Lando going to come back strong and show that he actually deserves to be world champion? I'm nervous.
I'm nervous because we've spoken about last year, the American races weren't great for Oscar.
All right. Lance Stroll.
Sweet. I think he needs a lift to Centrelink. Agreed.
Works for me.
Yeah. He's the 18th highest position driver with his average finishing position in a 21 car field with 20 cars in it. So,
yeah. I don't really have much to say about him. I mean, what can you really say about Lance Stroll that hasn't been said before? I mean, where did we say he was? In a different... bear with me.
God, you know your way around the website, don't you?
Yeah, so he's down in 12th, 26 points, equal with Fernando. Yeah. So that probably is a little bit of a rip to Stroll.
But again, he's on average finished 1.6 behind Alonso.
Who had the 4 DNFs to start off with.
And like I said, Alonso in the last 7 has a 1.7 grid position better. Stroll is actually, it's the same. He hasn't.
It's interesting now because Stroll bought out Aston Martin's stake in the team. So I don't know what that means for Aston Martin.
What do you mean?
I'm sure I just saw a thing that...
Stroll owns Aston Martin.
Yeah, but he... Aston Martin... Or I don't know who it was. Whatever it was, who owned 40% of it, he's bought out. So now he
100% owns it.
Pretty much, I think, basically.
That's right.
Anyway, my point I'm trying to make is he is more invested in the team than ever before. Now, the team has turned a massive profit in value.
I did see that.
We know he's just a businessman. But to me, it says that Lance isn't going anywhere anytime soon as well. Yeah.
No.
As long as his old man is there and interested and happy to still keep doing this, like Lance is always going to have.
I missed the rumours
drive,
that he was going to retire, and that's why his hand injury had come up in Canada and all that sort of stuff. I missed
clearly
I missed those times.
nothing to that.
Nothing at all.
The Stroll family must have been at home going, where did they pull this shit from? But,
yeah. Or Lance was probably looking at his dad like, am I in trouble?
Yeah. Yeah, that was an awkward drive home. All right, Isaac Hadjar.
Yep.
Okay, so I think for him, I would probably have him as on probation.
Yeah, that's where I've put him.
He's looked very solid in that car, in that Racing Bulls.
Yeah, it's looked pretty solid.
Started quite sad, literally, in tears.
Yep.
But he's had some form. Like, he's had ups and downs. I guess some of his downs have been just... I mean, you think about Silverstone, like...
Crashed into Antonelli,
came out of nowhere in the spray.
Yeah.
Was that Antonelli? Was that Antonelli?
You've given him a couple of different names tonight.
Yeah, it's just one of those names that just rolls out of the mouth funny. Part of me looks at that and thinks, is that Antonelli being too safe?
Maybe,
like in
but
those
he has
conditions?
a right to do that.
Oh, 100%. You know, and whereas Hadjar was maybe feeling more confident and grippy in there, and then just all of a sudden, there's a Mercedes out of nowhere. So
yeah.
No, I think he's looked impressive. Like it does look like if they were going to put anyone in that second team with Max, the guy you're putting in there is Hadjar, which says a lot.
If you're just looking at performance-based, if you're just making a performance-based decision, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He has an average finishing of 12.2. That's 0.8 ahead of Lawson.
Yeah.
So it's actually closer than anyone likes to think.
Yeah.
And he's actually in the last 7, he's dropped back half a position. So nothing major. Lawson's actually come up 1.8 positions. So Lawson's actually getting to grips with the car, I suppose, and that gap's closing between them. So the back half of the year now is actually going to be quite interesting between the two. Lawson's actually on a run of, he's had a couple of points finishes now, which is a shame.
So do you agree he's on probation, or do you think that he's not even quite
I think he's probably on probation, but again, if we're looking at what we're looking at here, it's almost like, God, he hasn't, I don't know if he's... I think there was a lot of undue hype.
He's probably a bit more in this final warning.
Yeah, I think it's... I've, like, looking back today at all the results and everything, I was like, man, there was a lot of hype on his name. And I'm not seeing why now, looking back at the 14 results.
Okay.
I'm not seeing why he was so hyped. And we probably hyped him up a lot as well.
Yeah.
We're not innocent of it.
We were definitely talking about him being potentially the Rookie of the Year for a minute. So
it's, I think... I can't even say it's in the last 7. I just think it's actually not maybe turned out.
Where did you?
It's not turning out. Oh, like I said, I had him on probation, but I also, I feel like you could drop him behind Bortoleto and Antonelli. To be fair, I mean that puts him with like 2 Frenchmen, like. Right. He's like you want to put Lando in between. He's probably like half a step down. Yeah, you know, like he's clearly in the top 3 of the rookies. Yeah, I'd say he's not far off, but I don't think he's had a real positive standout moment. Okay, especially as Lawson kind of shows that he might have something. To bring
he definitely
to him.
needs a strong back half of the season, doesn't he? He needs to take these 10 races and really just consistently be in the points and definitely put it to Lawson. I think the worst case scenario for him would be Lawson leapfrogging him.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
That would be real tough.
So final warning for him then. All right.
Well, you had him as replaced early preseason.
Yeah,
so
I definitely undersold him.
I don't think he's quite that far. He's not. He's not needing a lift to Centrelink. So,
all right, Carlos Sainz Jr. Where did you have him?
So I had him in final warning.
Yep.
As well.
Yep.
He's not having a good season.
No,
Carlos.
it's been a sad one. Yeah.
We all were very excited. Him going against Albon, who's never really had a good season.
Yep.
In comparison to anything or teammates or anything like that. I think we all thought he'd come in and just lead that team. And be what might help them go forward. And I think the team has gone forward, but I actually think it's not him that's taken it forward.
It's all been Alex, hasn't it? Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I mean, if you compare the man who took his seat and Carlos where he's now in the Williams,
Hmm.
Lewis has probably done like what you would expect bare minimum from Carlos in the Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, so like you can't even sort of say like, Ferrari, made a mistake doing that switch.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're not really worse off, and really things could probably only really get better as Hamilton comes to grips more and more with that Ferrari. You know, we saw how beaten down he was last week.
Pretty low lows.
Definitely in the sads.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sainz has looked more sorry and sad in that Williams. It's been a rough one for him.
Well, I think so. What's after saying all that? I think what's interesting is in the first 7 races he was on average 1.3 positions behind Albon.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 7 races, he's actually 1.2 positions better off than Albon.
Yeah, right.
So both of them have slipped.
Yeah.
The second half of this first sort of season has they've both dropped
But
off.
Albon's just slipped a bit more.
Albon's dropped way off 3 positions.
So maybe we're actually starting to see that the true car come through.
Like
it's a bit of
it's
a
almost
dog.
like Sainz is getting to grips with it, and the car is also like there's always going to be that adjustment driver to a new team and car, and then also the car is, as other teams probably more so come to the front, they're Albon's highlights of finishing 5th, 4th are slipping back a little bit.
Yep.
But the last 7 races, Sainz has actually outperformed Albon by over 1.2 positions. So
Yeah, I think final warning it feels fitting for him. He's not quite a Centrelink driver.
yeah.
But all the drivers that are on probation, he doesn't seem to be kind of on their level.
No, I'd agree. I think he shouldn't. I don't think he should be doing worse than Albon. I think as race car drivers and what we've seen in their respective careers, I think Carlos has probably proved to be. He's more experienced, but probably proven to be better. And I do think he should have gotten into that car
Carlos is
and done a decent
14 years, younger than Fernando. Yeah,
Is Carlos 30?
Yeah,
Is he only 30?
yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I feel like he's been in the sport for way longer than that to be 30 years old.
I'm sure I just saw because I was surprised at.
I would have thought for sure he's. Or can you navigate?
Yeah.
Can you navigate quick enough? This is riveting podcasting for the Spotify listeners. Let's see, what do you got here?
Of course.
You got another ad pop up?
Yeah, they love to throw the ads at you, the old left one.
Yeah. It's got an.
Here we are, 1994.
So 31, I guess.
31 this year. He's about to turn 31.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So
I really thought he was. I guess he's only been in the sport.
He feels like he's been there a lot
for
longer.
10 years. Yeah, I mean, he's been through how many teams?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Toro Rosso, Renault, McLaren, Ferrari, Williams. I think you're right. That's why
he spent his whole career getting chased out of teams.
Yeah, right. There you go. That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think final warning is a good home for him.
It's fitting. All right, we're getting down to the final few. So,
who do we have?
Alex Albon.
Nice.
So back-to-back Williams drivers.
Yeah.
All right, why don't you start us off with this one?
Wow. So I want to provoke what I've put. I actually put him in Employee of the Month.
I think that's too high.
That's too high.
But I
agree.
do think Company Man feels fitting.
I think so.
He's like, I don't think anyone saw him doing what he did this season. Yeah. Like, we certainly didn't.
No.
We were definitely of the opinion that Carlos was going to come in and take over that team and be the number 1 driver.
Yep. And when we saw last year, because Colapinto ripped so much shit up at the end of the year, Albon kind of got forgotten, but he'd actually done his fair share of ripping shit up.
Yeah.
Like I think he actually had more, his damage total was actually more than Colapinto's and Sargent's together. Something wild. Like something
that's right.
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the veteran of 7 seasons or whatever in that team, he absolutely had his fair share of the damage bill.
Well, he got it all out of his system last year, clearly.
Yeah.
Because he certainly hasn't not looked crashy this year. So it's only been when the car has had some sort of a issue where they've started to have PU issues, I guess, and they've had a couple of DNFs, and I think that's why he's had a dip in the results. Yeah. It's not necessarily been
performance.
Him. So
yeah, I mean, what'd you say? He's 8th in the drivers' title, and I predict he'll end up into 7th with his
Yep. Well, he's 10 behind
get us
Kimmy.
strong. We got a couple of tricky tracks to end the year. Those American tracks are no slouch. So like,
I mean, you
him
pretty
having
much
the
would say that
experience
top
there.
6 is fixed, done and dusted. It's just maybe a couple of them will flip around.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically from there under, it's anyone's game, and he definitely looks kind of the best of the rest.
I mean, and Williams have clearly delivered an improved car on the year before. I mean, it's clearly drivable for a start, but it's actually eked out some decent results, and Albon's been in a good position to capitalise on pretty much all of them. And I think he's made us and Sainz look a little bit silly for most of the year.
Oh, he's a company man for me.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hope that he can keep that form for the remaining 10 races and finish strong. So
it's a far stretch from me calling out Williams to sell the team pre-season.
All right, your favourite, Liam Lawson.
Liam. What a silly name.
Liam. You don't like Liam?
No. Don't like Lawson either.
No.
LL. What a stupid initials.
All right. Where do you think he fits in his performance review?
All right. I actually put him in the final warning category.
Okay. That's surprising. I definitely thought you were just going to hit him hard with the Centrelink.
No, well, we're an unbiased podcast.
I don't think you could have him, like, being how close it is between him and Hadjar, I don't think you could have him.
Yeah, I mean, he's technically a rookie, which I think is silly because he did like 7 or 8, 9. He did like half the season last year.
Yeah.
So to call him a rookie is quite absurd. But technically, they call him a rookie. So I suppose you got to treat them all equal.
Yep.
I think the Red Bull treatment at the start of the year, you really have to put aside, clearly.
Yep.
And then that would have shaken his confidence. So the first couple of races back in the Red Bull, you get the SADs out of your system, and then you got to refocus, push down the side as well.
Yep.
And then, like I said, the last 10, where's he? Lawson, 11.2 in the last 7 races.
Okay.
Which is an increase from 13 from the first 7. So he's getting better. And he's actually in the last 7, he's beaten Hadjar, 1.5 better off than Hadjar in the last 7 races. So, and we've seen he beat Max last race or the race before.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, top Red Bull finisher.
I think he's starting to show that he's got a bit of form. As much as I hate to admit it, I don't think he's
like
not the worst driver out there.
No, I mean, it was like the Red Bull experience rattled his confidence, but he's kind of settled back down and found his groove again.
Yeah.
And now he's
understanding, all right, it wasn't him. He was absolutely put into a pretty rough situation with the car, and then the way the media was, and the team really not giving him much of a chance.
Oh, yeah, yanked out as quickly as he got in.
In hindsight, it's probably a good thing, right? And you can probably look back and go, all right, he only wasted 2 races this year in that car, and he's been able to now, to this point, 10 races to go, he's been able to nestle back in with that team and be at one with that decision.
Yeah.
Lucky
for him, when it all went down, lucky for him, Yuki didn't just magically pull something out of his ass and like look the goods, where we would be going, oh yeah, Liam is
shit.
Yeah. It's been the opposite, and if anything, now he looks a little bit more like a safer bet compared to Yuki, who's just such a, we don't hear really anything about him or what's going on.
Yeah.
But there's such an uncertainty around him now, and he already felt like he had a target on his back from Helmut Marko, and now it feels like that's getting some heat again. Where I've seen a few things floating around where Helmut's been like, he won't be in the Red Bull next year.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, whether he has final say on those decisions, I don't know. But, Lawson looks comfortable and safe in that racing balls. I think I get the feeling that his career is going to take a similar sort of trajectory as someone like Gasly, where you kind of just get stuck in that team. You're not really doing anything. And then at some point, Red Bull are going to cut you and be like, all right, that's enough.
Your time's up at some point.
You're too old for this.
Yeah.
And then you have to go and
there's a lot of drivers like that. There's no feeling bad.
No. Hopefully pick up a drive somewhere else. So.
Yeah, go to Formula E or
where you will be missed gratefully.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I tell you, this thing's blue balling me about these two Alpine drivers.
They're even finishing last in the spinner.
So we got
Oliver Behrman.
Okay. Look, I think absolutely straight up, he's got to go on. I can't see it actually. Chris has taken it away.
Sorry.
Where's his teammate Ocon? Final warning.
You think he's on final warning? You don't think he's Centrelink?
Bam? I don't think so. Again, we've already sort of said about it a lot, but he's right there with Ocon as a rookie.
Yeah, okay. Fair,
0.6 positions behind
fair enough, yeah.
for the season. And he's tied
been very
closest
crashy,
teammate
though.
battle with McLaren. So again, if you're going to compare teammates, you got McLaren. We've seen what they're doing week in, week out. Haas at a much, much smaller level as far as competitiveness between the two.
He's been very crashy, though.
I can't remember. I don't watch that fight on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's not the safest pair of hands, but again, this is what your rookie season's about. I don't think he has performed that poorly that you'd consider him one of the worst drivers on the grid, is effectively what we're doing with going to Centrelink.
Yeah, okay.
Like, would you prefer to have Stroll in the car? Or Yuki? Yuki's a tough one, but...
Yeah, but in saying that, like Stroll, he's 12th in the standings and
he's
on
not a
26 points.
Yeah.
No, he's not a rookie.
He's not a rookie.
He's been there for a while now.
And we know that he had 6th in Australia, which I think is an absolute standout in wet conditions where anything can happen. And he managed to keep it on the track.
Who was that? Stroll. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So he got a good sugar hit to start the year off.
Yeah.
Like, that must have been half his points in round one.
Yeah, we would have been close probably. Yeah, we're quarter at least.
But I feel no gripe if you want to give him a lift to Centrelink. I'm absolutely fine with that. I won't fight you too hard.
Well, he's...
If you say he's crashy, I believe you.
Yeah, look, I think ultimately you're right. Probably if we have Ocon there, I mean, well, hang on, because Ocon is 10th. So that's a pretty big gap between teammates.
So what's Behrman's points?
Behrman's on 8, Ocon's on 27. So it is only
19 points between them.
Yeah. But again, that's showing just how tight that sort of mid to...
Yeah.
There almost isn't like a... Other than the Alpines, really.
Yeah.
There isn't really like a tail end. It's all like midfield now, pretty much. And then the 4 big teams.
That shows... So there's 19 points between them and 10 positions. The fact that they're only 0.6 positions apart, on average, tells me Ocon's had an absolutely outlying performance somewhere.
Yeah.
But generally, when they're both not scoring points, which is most of the time, they're neck and neck. Besides an outlier, they're pretty well neck and neck.
All right, so I think he does need to... If he's not going to slip into like a Centrelink zone, I think that he does... he needs to get...
He needs to get a final warning.
No, it sounds stupid to say he needs to get points, but he does. Like, he's got to... I think... if Haas, like where are Haas in the constructors right now?
Well, would you basically say he's the worst, second worst rookie? I'd feel comfortable saying that.
The worst being
second one. Colapinto, go on.
Colapinto, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Colapinto is the worst, and he's probably the second worst. So yeah. Final warning then.
Yeah. I mean, what other rookies are on there? Hadjar and Lawson. We've spoken about how the seasons they've had.
Yeah,
I think. I feel very comfortable that he'd be a position below them.
Yeah.
But not to the point where he'd be on needs a lift to Centrelink.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Final 3.
Okay. I bet this is going to be... we got Hamilton still on the board.
Still on the board, and it's going to literally be the Alpines last.
That's hilarious.
All right. Lewis Hamilton. So this is probably the last driver
that we're actually going to have to rank here.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Where do you think he deserves to be at the mid-season point? And this is keeping in mind we've got Charles Leclerc as a company man. So are we keeping him on that same level, or do we think that he's
Look, I had him as a company man, but seeing as our list has transpired, and it's very nice, and I really enjoyed this layout that we're looking at here. I feel comfortable putting him on probation. I
think so. Yeah, I think like being that we've got a Lando Norris and a Charles Leclerc as company man, and Albon
and a massively outperforming, Albon overperforming.
I think that you'd probably say that Hamilton has sort of not met expectations. This season.
Say that. He'd absolutely say that.
Yeah,
everyone would say that. Ferrari would say that.
Yeah,
I mean, he's focused more. What was that bullshit announcement that this thing he's released?
Non-alcoholic beverage of some sort.
Focus on driving your Formula 1 car that you're struggling to do, man. Like, why are you out venturing on these side quests? Just drive your race car. Focus on that. Hit the simulator. Like,
especially with like the amount of noise that Ferrari made with him.
build rapport with your engineer.
Preseason.
Go out to drinks, like
yeah,
alcoholic drinks. Like, why are you?
yeah, have a beer and get it out.
Yeah.
Fight each other if you need to.
Yeah,
like
there's
Jesus,
some venting that needs to happen. This
Yeah.
team needs to gel more.
You know, it's funny. Like 14 races down the track now, and hearing radio from Hungary, still, I was like, these guys still don't like each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's still no like respect.
Yeah.
They're still at odds.
Yeah.
They're just like two guys that have been forced to work together.
Yeah, and it's not working.
It's not. Yeah, it's not going well.
The guy's probably like the engineer. He's probably pissed, right? Because he's probably like, Lewis, you've made me a raging fucking alcoholic.
yeah.
And then you're out here promoting non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
How can you do this? How can you be on both sides of the fence here? You're forcing me into alcoholism.
Yeah.
And then you're developing a product that has no alcohol.
This guy, I don't know if I've seen a photo of him or if I know what he looks like or whatever.
I bet you he's grey as fuck.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, he's going to be remembered for two things. The man who sent Hamilton into retirement because of catching the SADs, and for making such outrageous statements like, must be the water.
Well, that was Leclerc's.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it wasn't it? Yeah. So
that's the fun side of the garage. That's the garage Lewis was promised in this deal.
Yeah.
But he got the sad garage. He got the science garage that hadn't seen a heap of success in their time. And they thought the holy man was coming. And
his biggest issue at the moment has been qualifying. Number one, that's the thing that he's got to sort out. If he can sort that out, he probably looks a little more online with Leclerc, with where that Ferrari should be. But it's just he's just forgotten how to put a stonking lap in all of a sudden.
Whether it's his fault or not, I think he deserves to be a step below on probation.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's him still struggling with the team in the car or whatever the hell's going on, it's not pretty though. But yeah, he's we only spoke last week that the Godfather images and all the selling they were doing to us about how good this relationship was going to be pre-season hasn't transpired.
No. I mean, if anyone needs a strong 10 races to end the season, it's definitely him because, as you were sort of mentioning before, when you see the points here, he's kind of in no man's land, isn't he? Like Charles is 50 points ahead of him, and you don't see him catching up to Charles.
No. But that's been his season, right? Monaco.
It's the guy in his old car directly behind him in his first year. you know, so he hasn't really... Like, where did he finish last year? It was 7th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
because George pipped him.
He either pipped him for a position, or I think because George Lewis got him in the last race, but I think it was
got him on the last race.
I think it was to outscore him for his years as teammates by a couple. But I think George got him.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's kind of actually funny in saying that he's sort of not really gone up or down. Then.
Yeah. I mean, Mercedes. You got to say Mercedes might be better than they were last year, and Ferrari are worse. We saw Ferrari just about won the constructors last year. So
yeah, and like George has outperformed the Ferraris, both of the Ferraris there. So yeah, that's fair to say.
You have to say Lewis Hamilton's year has been about him being in no man's lane. He's been too far off the back of the top 4 or 5 where he's got to be connected to.
But he's ahead of the rest.
But he's so far ahead of the rest because the rest suck. Like he's
not racing anyone but himself.
Yeah. Like you look at
That's
Monaco,
literally his whole season.
On the radio, where is everybody? And it's like, man, you're like 2 minutes behind, or like a minute behind. I think it was the last car not lapped. Like that's been his season, right? He's just too far detached from the front, but the car's too good to be close to the cars behind. He's just stuck.
He's spending all year battling himself.
Yeah, he's a loner. That's why he's all in his head. He's racing in his head.
No, I think that's fair. On probation, he goes.
Yeah.
All right. We probably don't need to spin the wheels for these last two.
This is hilarious that these two are the last two.
Even the picker wheel knew that these were obviously going to be last.
Everybody listening has just been waiting to know what we think about Franco Colapinto and Jack Doohan.
Yeah. So
who we got? Franco. All right, so here's the thing. Here's what I've got.
Give me his stats, because obviously...
This is interesting.
He's on 0 points.
Yep.
He doesn't...
And Doohan also.
I guess the only real question, is who deserves that seat more, him or Doohan?
Well, let's talk about both. Obviously, I need to spin the next one. So let's just directly compare these two.
Well, they're both in Centrelink,
They're both going to Centrelink, absolutely. Yeah. They absolutely need to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so Colapinto has raced 9... I think it was 8 or 9 races, whatever.
Well, hang on. Doohan had 5,
races.
so...
It's 6.
What, this year?
I think it was 6.
Yeah, okay.
And then, so that means he had
Right, so
8.
8 then,
Yeah.
yep.
So, Colapinto, 16.1 average finishing position.
Mm-hmm.
Also 16.1 in the last 7. Doohan, 16.8. So 0.7 lower.
Yep.
They both have the same highest finish of 13th.
Okay.
So
That's the
Colapinto's
highest
had
position achieved, yep.
2 more races to achieve results.
Yep.
And he's 0.7 higher on average.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep,
yeah,
so
they
it's-
both have the same height.
So we're splitting hairs.
But what annoys me is, what is Flavio seeing besides some kind of check that is just that why is Colapinto still in the seat? Like,
Well,
to
I think
actually
that's
have
all
the
it is,
stats
right?
in front of us now and go, so he's not outperforming Doohan in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
He hasn't achieved any of the premeditated arrangements.
Yeah,
Not a single one.
the don't crash,
he's
be
crashed the
fast,
car.
score
He's
points.
not fast, and he's not scored points.
Yeah.
Is there not someone else with a bank account?
Yeah.
Is
Look, I
Jack's
think,
not big enough?
I think we know what Flavio's like. He's a money guy. He's in it for money, which they all are, but him very much so. I think the other thing is you got to remember who is a stakeholder in Alpine, and they've got guys like Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
So I think right now they know they don't have the car, so it must just be a money thing. It must be who's bringing in the most money to make sure that the shareholders are getting what they need to get in order to keep this thing rolling
I think
until they
they'd
can figure it
sell
out.
More merch with the Doohan name on there.
I don't know,
my
like,
opinion.
because that you see how much noise the Argentinians make. You know, we already got an Aussie, and like, you'd probably be hard pressed to find many Aussies who are, you know, going to spend money on a Doohan merch
Yeah, but if
over
you've
a
got people
Piastri
who
merch.
like pink, blue, Renault,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
I just think Doohan, like, not for Jack Doohan's name, obviously.
But then you
but
got
for
to
the Mick Doohan name, you go out and you buy a Mick Doohan shirt, or you buy a Doohan shirt.
You got to
like,
remember, like, F1's changed now. It's not a dad sport anymore. So most people probably don't even know that his dad was a MotoGP world champion. You know, especially people who are buying merch are generally young
you're probably
people
right.
who have $200 to waste on a t-shirt and
Yeah.
$150 to waste on a cap, because that shit ain't cheap.
Yeah. No, you're not
So-
wrong.
I think you can throw away that argument, but then again, like, the whole.
I'm not
and-
arguing
and
that
even if you
deserves
were-
his seat. I just mean,
If you were obsessed with Alpine for some weird reason, you're buying Gasly stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's the face of that
well,
organization.
again,
so-
I'll buy the old, the old stock of Doohan shirts if I'm a weirdo who's interested in Alpine. Or, maybe sell me a Flavio shirt or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's really shit that this is the proof that, and it's not a surprise, but money buys you Formula One.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always been like that way.
Like, you could
So-
have had Doohan, and because last year he was meant to get all year in the car. And then
Yeah.
it was like, oh no, it's actually only 6 races. Straight away, like, okay, I'll see where this is going. What could have Jack done to keep that seat? Nothing. I think this is proof nothing would have kept him in that seat. I think there's no reason they could have gone, all right, Colapinto, you get 6 races. All right, Jack, you get 6 races.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel like if they're letting Colapinto just see out the end of the season, then they're just going to bring him back for next season, right? Because otherwise, why would you waste Jack on the sideline doing nothing for the whole time, where you could just be like, okay, you guys are both kind of in a similar sort of spot, and rotate the seat, or
I mean,
just
that's the thing. Even
see if someone can find something
with these positions, Colapinto did half a season last year. So again, you'd probably expect that he would be doing better than Jack. But they're very much the same.
And maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's because of what he did last season that bought him enough stock to carry him through. Whereas, like, Jack obviously wasn't afforded that opportunity, so he literally had nothing. And then, you do look at that, was it China where he had the crash? Suzuka, sorry. That's an odd mistake. Very odd
It's
mistake.
a rookie mistake that should be allowed.
Yeah.
You should give this guy 12 months and see if by the end... Look at Bortoletto. Nowhere at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Allowed to develop, allowed to have a contract, allowed the time to develop. Jack didn't get that chance. So I'm just saying, you give the guy 6 races at the start of the year, knowing you're on a timeline here, man, and then you got Colapinto coming in with the money. Like, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
As much as they might try and sell it as something else, this is proof that it's nothing other than money.
All right. Well, I'm pretty happy with our list.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that come together. I'm loving seeing Norris down there.
Yeah. Norris should be somewhere like there, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Luckily, your program doesn't allow such a thing. It's an unbiased program. It's black and white.
George being up here with these boys kind of feels a bit laughable, just a little bit.
A little bit.
But he's having a good season, so
for the Spotify,
he's one of the most solid ones out there at the moment.
For the Spotify listeners, let's reel them off. So, Employee of the Month, we got Oscar Piastri, George Russell, and Max Verstappen. Company Man, you got Charles Leclerc, Alex Albon, Lando Norris. On probation is Nico Hulkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Kimi Antonelli, Bortoletto, and Hamilton. Final warning is there's a lot of drivers here. Hey,
21.
Gasly, Ocon, Hadjar, Sainz, what's that guy's? Lawson, Behrman, and
Slim Shady.
Yeah, you're right. Needs a lift to Centrelink, Sonoda, Stroll, Colapinto, and my guy Jack Doohan.
Yeah, very good. I'm proud of us. That was we did a full performance review.
Yeah.
All the notices will be sent out immediately, put into effect.
Yeah.
Notes going into files. So.
Yep. Pay rises coming in for some.
Yeah. No, good stuff. All right. Well, we still got a long. It feels like it's going to be a very long, sort of 3-odd weeks. So we still got another 2 weeks after this one. August 31st is race day for the next round. So
and it's the Dutch Grand Prix.
Dutch,
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's a good track.
Zandvoort
might be the last time where it's on the calendar too. So.
Oof, yeah, there's a few tracks now that are all floating around in that. Are they going to be here next year? How much longer they're going to be here for? So
Maxi Pad, he's going to bring it.
He'll be motivated. Yeah,
he's going to actually bring it.
Good stuff. All right. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
No, I think we're primed and ready for the next race, and we've got 2 weeks until then. So we'll bring out some content.
Stay
for
tuned.
The listeners.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right. GGs.
All right. See you on the next one.
See ya.